Hey y'all, my name is Zach. I'm an intern here at Mosaic, and honestly, I was feeling a bit sad that I don't get to see y'all tonight for church for Thursday night church service. So I figured I would shoot this, and hopefully this helps you get through things because it's Christmas time again. And while it might be cold outside, I've got a bit of a hot take to warm you up a bit. I low key kind of hate Christmas. Let me finish. I hate the Christmas of the American dream. I see this whole gauzy spectacle wrapped up in a gaudy plastic sheen, and I honestly find it nauseating. Like, okay, y'all like top five lists, right? Well, here are the top five things that make me nauseous about Christmas. Right off the bat, color scheme. I just hate how tacky of a color combination red and green are. We can do better. Number two, I hate how allergic I am to actual Christmas trees because it's just so hard to unwrap presents when you can't breathe and when your hands are covered in hives. Third, I hate how we just instantly replace Thanksgiving gratitude with Black Friday greed. Be honest now. How many of you rattled off what you were thankful for during lunch and then used Thanksgiving dinner as an opportunity to check out what was for sale on Amazon? And I loathe that stupid hippopotamus song. I hate it. The premise, whack. The lyrics, whack. The instruments, whack. The vocals, whack. Hearing that stupid attempt to rhyme hippopotamuses with rhinoceroses makes me want to recreate Die Hard. And finally, number five, the thing that I hate most of all is how much I hate Christmas. I don't want to be Scrooge. I don't want to be the Grinch. I hate how weird this makes me because most people, at a minimum, kind of like this whole Christmas thing. Some of you take it a bit further. You care about it, like really, really care about it. And the worst part, those of you who really, really care about it, you might be onto something. Because those of us who see Christmas as a season of shallowness or inconvenience or disappointment are viewing Christmas through a broken lens. See, more than any of those things, Christmas is a season of yearning. It's a season of searching. It's supposed to have an element of hope to it. And the people who really, really care about Christmas, they can sense this, even if they're trying to maybe find that hope in wrong places. See, some people might look to the future, trying to find hope in whatever's flashy or shiny or new, or even in their dreams of what Christmas should be. Some people retreat into the past, listening to the same songs and watching the same movies over and over and over again because somewhere along the line we allowed movie studios to convince us that nostalgia for a past where things seemed better could somehow magically fix things in the present. But neither progress nor nostalgia ever actually work, though. So we repeat the cycle over and over again, forever and ever, our desire for hope driving us to despair. But hope is here. God's present to us, and it's ours for the taking. We just have to be able to look past all the shallow nonsense and see where it is actually found. If we learn to yearn for the right thing. And that's what I'm going to try to do here. I'm trying to help you see what might happen if you yearned for the right thing. Because I am convinced that Christmas is a season for yearning. And because of that, I'm convinced that whether you like Christmas or not, that sense of yearning is intensified a bit more during this time of year. And I'm convinced that your life could be changed forever if you're able to learn how to do this, if you are able to learn how to yearn for the right thing. So, how do we do it? Throughout this sermon series, Pastor Adam has been walking us through the Christmas lyric comfort and joy. And we've come to the conclusion that comfort and joy, they're not quite as compatible as we might want them to be. And because that's true, it kind of implies that we need to be thinking critically about lines from other songs as well. So I've been doing that with other Christmas songs. And in this process, I've come to the conclusion that there's one line from one song that captures this season of yearning better than any of other. And no, it's not the stupid hippopotamus song. The lyric is, O come, Emmanuel. On the surface, maybe that's a bit more shallow than what you're expecting. But what if this line is deeper than you think? Because baked into this statement is an accusation. See, you might know that Emmanuel means God with us, but asking Emmanuel to come and be with us sort of assumes that God with us actually isn't, doesn't it? And that seems contradictory. Like, what kind of sense would it make for God with us to not be with us? Why wouldn't he be there? Why would he be so far away? Or maybe we're being generous and we might sing this knowing that he might be with us while not necessarily feeling it. But honestly, how's that any better? Why wouldn't Emmanuel, God with us, want us to know that he's with us? Why wouldn't he want us to feel his presence? And that is the accusation. How can you claim to be who you uh, to be what you claim to be if the evidence seems to contradict it? And so yeah, there's a tension here. So what do we do with it? Is this a comfort and joy type of situation? Not exactly. But we do have to reframe what we mean when we sing this. We have to remember the context. It was written to represent the point of view of humanity before Jesus' birth, during Israel's winter, a season of exile and violence and occupation. It's a dark period. There was little to hope for except for a promise that seemed unreachable. It was a season of yearning, a plea for God to be who he said he was. And then God was. He stepped out of heaven and he made his home here with other humans just like us, healing them, teaching them, eating food and drinking wine with them, making friends with them, being betrayed by them, and ultimately dying for them as the only perfect sacrifice worthy of restoring them to right relationship with God. During his life, Jesus lived a life managing the tension of being fully God and being fully human. He lived a life of community by being with humanity. And in his death, he ensured that the them that he ate and drank and lived with and died for includes us as well, continents and centuries removed from his life, so that all of humanity had the opportunity to be with God for eternity. Should we choose to surrender whatever sins or desires we have that would keep us out of relationship with God. And so, through all of humanity's yearning, God never stopped being who he said he was. And he kept his promise of being God with us. So that was then. What does that all mean for now? Why even bother singing it now? Do we just sing the song for nostalgia's sake? Or is there a chance that the accusation still lingers? Because the tension, it hasn't fully resolved yet, has it? I mean, look around, y'all. Look at how bad things have gotten. Does it feel like God is with us? Not always. The tension remains unresolved. The accusation, it still lingers. How can Emmanuel be God with us if the evidence seems to contradict it? I look around sometimes at this broken world and I get so overwhelmed that I can only form one question. Where are you, God? It's interesting how God works, though, because to paraphrase one of Christianity's greatest thinkers, God puts salt on our lips so that what we might thirst for him more. It seems to me then that God himself might be the one placing this question on my lips. And if you find yourself asking this question, he might just be placing it on your lips too. Because it's only by reaching this point and asking this question that the tension can even begin to resolve. Jesus himself says that those who seek will find, knock and the door will be open to you. It's salt on the lips. It's a promise to those who look at life and yearn for something more, who yearn for God to be who he claims to be. See, God rewards those who yearn for him with himself, with his presence. And so to truly sing this line is to sing it through the lens of yearning. It's to view this line as a plea. It's a plea for God to act according to who he claims to be. God says that he is with us, so we're asking him to be with us. We're asking him to be with us in life's festive greens and reds, and we're asking him to be with us in life's dreary grays as well. We're asking for the Prince of Peace to be our peace when life punches us in the face. We're asking for the healer to heal bodies, minds, souls, relationships. We're asking for the wonderful counselor to give us wisdom when we stand face to face with impossible odds, and for the Almighty to be our strength when we stand at the foot of an immovable mountain. God claims these things about himself. And when we sing this song, we approach God with a sense of expectation that he will act according to who he is, because that is what Christmas is all about. Christmas is about God being who he claims to be, a redeemer, a restorer, the way, the truth, the life, Emmanuel, God with us. But now, instead of being alongside us, the Holy Spirit, God himself, makes himself at home in us. So when I ask God where he is so near to me that he can whisper back, I'm right here, and I'm not letting go. I'm not going anywhere. I'm forever Emmanuel, God with us. So why sing this song? Why sing what seems to be a paradox? Ultimately, we sing the song yearning for God's presence. And this yearning, whether we know it or not, it's ingrained in all of us. And I do think that it intensifies during this time of year, and maybe we just need an outlet for it. And maybe that's why people are so expressive during this Christmas season. Maybe what people are really expressing with the trees and the lights and even the stupid hippo songs is really just a deeply ingrained yearning for Emmanuel to be with them. But they just don't know how to vocalize it, and they don't know that he's here, that he's come to give them a life better than just accumulating stuff until they die. They've got salt on the lips, but no sense of where the nearest well is. And Christian, that's where we come in. That's why inviting people to church during this season is so important. The world is thirsty, and we know where the water is. The world yearns, and we have what it yearns for. So, Mosaic, let's lead the thirsty to living water this Christmas. I'm convinced that God has put you in contact with the people that you are in contact with for a reason. I think that God has placed them in your life with salt on their lips so that you can lead them to water. So invite them. Invite them to a Christmas service so that they can experience the presence of God. Invite them so that God Himself can satisfy their yearning for living water. But you're yearning too. It's okay to admit it. I mean, I yearn. We all do still yearn because we're humans and we're limited. But God is infinite. We'll never be able to experience the fullness of an infinite God in the current broken state of creation. It's only after God has completely remade everything that we will be able to fully experience God. Until then, we do still yearn for more of God's presence. We yearn for peace, power, healing, grace. We yearn for Him to continue working for us, in us, and through us. We all still have salt on our lips, thirsty for more of God's presence. So, how do we satisfy this yearning? Well, there's the obvious stuff. We read what God has written to us in His Word in the Bible. We pray. We do devotionals. Next month, we're doing a church-wide fast. You'll find God's presence real quick when you're yearning for food or caffeine or Netflix. But there's stuff here that's not as obvious, too. See, God's presence is also found in community. His presence is found when we live life at the table. when we pass around literal food that nourishes our bodies and the spiritual food that nourishes our soul, when we're vulnerable enough with each other to share our burdens and our victories, our requests and our gratitude, our celebrations and our brokenness. We do this because Jesus lived life at the table. All of that eating and drinking and making friends all happened at the table. See, Jesus didn't come for us to live lives dedicated to rugged individuality. We were designed to thrive in community, as a tribe, with each individual coming together to form a whole. And when we come together as a tribe around the table, we are able to experience God's presence far more fully than if we try to do it alone. After all, Emmanuel means God with us, not just God with me. Do you hate that? Ew, people, gross. Trust me, I'm way more introverted than you are. I get it. But don't try to Lone Ranger this Christmas. I know a big reason why some of us don't like Christmas is because we associate it with people who have hurt us. Fathers who abandon, mothers who abuse, aunts and uncles who turn white elephant gift exchanges into a petty way of getting revenge for things that happened before you were even born. The table you sat around as a kid might have left you scarred and jaded, but my hope is that you don't abandon tables altogether. Because what you yearn for is at the table. Emmanuel is with us, his presence in his people. Yearn for it. Yearn for his presence this Christmas. And Mosaic, my challenge for you this Christmas is to strive to be the table that leads the thirsty to living water. Strive to be the table that makes Christmas more than just another event to endure, but a reason to celebrate. Strive to be the table that the lonely yearn to sit at, and then invite them into it, and experience Emmanuel as he's meant to be experienced together.